You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jamie Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to Love Talk Live. I'm your host, Jamie Bronstein, and today I have with me Mabel Katz. Welcome.
How are you, Jamie? Nice to be here with you.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
You are Zooming in, calling in, or StreamYarding in from
Los Angeles, California.
You're so far away. I'm right down the street.
Wonderful.
Well, we're going to get into Mabel's accent because you have lived all over, correct? But now you are in LA.
Well, I actually travel around the world with my message, but I lived in Los Angeles for the last 37 years. I am originally from Argentina. That's where my accent is from.
Well, when COVID is over, we'll have to get some lunch one day in person. This is great.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to read to you guys a little bit about Mabel, and then we'll get into some questions. So Mabel Katz is an international leader of major stature who has developed a committed and global following for her ability to radically change lives in just a few days based on her profound zero-frequency teachings. Rooted in the ancient Hawaiian art of problem solving called
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono.
Yes.
It's so beautiful, and I love Hawaii. Zero frequency enables people to be at peace no matter what is going on around them, relieving all the day-to-day worries, anxieties, projections, fears, and self-esteem issues, and clearly able to hear and live by the guidance and wisdom offered by the universe. Traveling around the world and building on the initial teachings, she developed a body of work that is zero frequency. Fluent in English and Spanish, she has now taught workshops and seminars in 40-plus countries and is a sought-after keynote speaker for corporations and other organizations. The best-selling author of The Easiest Way, Solve Your Problems and Take the Road to Love, Happiness, Wealth, and the Life of Your Dreams, and several other books. Her children's book, The Easiest Way to Grow, Messages You Will Be Glad to Know, filled with beautiful illustrations and inspiring messages for children ages 3 to 100, has also been in great demand around the globe. Now her newest book, Zero Frequency, The Easiest Way to Peace, Happiness, and Abundance, encapsulates her full body of work and brings forward her mastery more fully to the English-speaking world. Mabel was honored as a peace ambassador for her World Peace Initiative, Peace Within is World Peace, which was launched at the United Nations in Vienna. Mabel continues to travel extensively throughout the world, helping countless people find inner peace and greater fulfillment in their lives. What haven't you done?
Well, that's kind of the energy I have, nonstop.
I don't know where to begin, but I would just, I think we should just begin with, I would love to hear about your life, what brought you to this work. Tell us about the beginnings.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites because I used to be a tax accountant. I'm a CPA and licensed in business administration in Argentina. And in this country, I specialize in taxes. So I help a lot of people, and I really enjoy being an accountant in this country because a lot of people, are afraid of taxes, are afraid of numbers, and that kind of came easy for me. So it was very rewarding. And it's actually a great career, a very stable career. So it wasn't that I was really looking to change my profession, but one day I woke up because I had everything that a person thinks it needs to be happy, and I was not happy. Mm-hmm. So I was looking actually for happiness and peace in my personal life. But because I became a believer, I became practicing letting go and trusting, allowing the universe to guide me, I opened my mind. The universe was, kind of guiding me, and this is what I'm doing now.
I love it. So let's start with Ho'oponopono.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
So Ho'oponopono is a very ancient Hawaiian art of problem solving. I did a lot of things in my search, but there was like this little voice that said there has to be an easier and faster way. I didn't believe into, going into the past and removing, and grieving and things like that. and I said, there has to be an easier and faster way. And actually, I found it in Ho'oponopono because it's about really letting go and trusting. It's about 100% responsibility. So what is it in me that is creating this? And that kind of gives you the power back to you, yes? Instead of depending on other people to change or the government or this or that, the 100% responsibility actually sets you free.
Absolutely. So it's about looking inside, owning, and then saying, well, what can I do to increase my happiness? Stop blaming the world, stop blaming the people I'm in relationships with, etc.
Exactly. So it's kind of when you change, everything changes. It's not the other way around. We are always waiting for something to happen, yes, out there. But no, actually, the out there that we call is actually our monitor that is showing you the programs that are, that are downloaded in your subconscious mind. So if you are willing to take 100% responsibility, you can press the delete key. I always say that Ho'oponopono is like that delete key. Yes, you don't like something or whatever. Instead of talking to the monitor, you press the delete key.
I love it. And what you're saying, basically, I always say that our outside experiences are a reflection of our inner reality. And so it sounds like that's what you're saying.
Yes, and the sooner that you realize, the easier your life becomes. And also one of the things that I also love to convey also to children, and it's easier to be a parent this way, this also is that life is consequences. Yes, so it's you choose what you want. If you do your homework or not, this is what happened. I mean, I love you no matter what. Yes, but you decide what you want. And realizing that now, even as an adult, yes, that wherever you are right now is consequences of the decisions that you made.
Well, it's also, the message is very empowering. I actually have a 5-year-old little boy. And so I'm thinking, we do talk about this. And to me, it's like, yes, you're a child, but you also do have choices.
Yes, the sooner the better, really.
Yes.
Because I mean, it's like, oh, I'm responsible. Oh, it's me. It's not my mother punishing me,
Yes.
It's me choosing what I want,
I'm just thinking about when he gets sad that he doesn't get chocolate. And I explained to him, well, you asked for the chocolate. I said, if your behavior is good, then you'll get the chocolate. And he didn't behave,
Yeah, and I love you no matter what, but you decide, yes?
Yeah, so maybe tomorrow, then there's the hope. Tomorrow will make it better.
Well, for example, I had a case in Colombia that the mother said, well, you have to discipline them, and he brought a bad grade, and I told him, you're not going to the soccer game on Saturday. So the boy was there, and the father says, could you talk to the boy? and I told the boy, next time you study, not because you care about the study, because you care about going to the game. So he says, okay, I better study because what I really want is to go to my soccer game, yes? So you decide, or if you don't, you said, okay, I know I'm not going to the soccer game, but it's my choice, yes? It comes back to me.
Exactly.
And that's life. We don't realize because we are kind of addicted to blaming and complaining. Yes? And we really think that it's always out there, or somebody or something has to change out there for us to be happy.
Well, people get comfortable with blaming and they like to stay in victim mode, And when they're in victim mode, the universe keeps giving them more reasons to feel like a victim. But they don't realize the cycle.
It's really your mirror, yes? It's showing you what is inside of you. That's what we need to get. That when you change, everything changes. If you change the way you think, if you change especially the way you react to things, because things and events are neutral. It's what you make of events, yes? What the label that you put to things. This is good, this is bad, this is correct, this is wrong.
Yeah, and what's so interesting about people and why I love studying psychology and people is because the same thing could happen to two different people, but your own unresolved issues and your triggers and your life experiences make you have a different reaction and put that emotional perspective and that emotional label on things.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you look at yourself, you said, for example, when I realized through Ho'oponopono about this 100% responsibility, It's not like the first time I heard it, I said, but the more that I heard is one day, like we said, the coin dropped, and I said, oh, wow, if I'm 100% responsible, that means I created it, I can change it. Yes, and Jamie, that was the first time in my life that I felt free, because then I said, oh, it's up to me. It depends on me. All right, I can do it. Yes, because all my life was about blaming and it was about waiting for other things to happen outside. Or, for example, I always tell people I had everything that a person thinks it needs to be happy, but I wasn't. My mother used to come, to visit to Los Angeles. She lived in Argentina, and she would show me and say, look at the house, look at the cars you drive. Look, you have a husband that loves you, so much, and two boys that, are healthy and beautiful. What's your problem? And, I didn't know what my problem was either, but I was always mad and unsatisfied, unhappy. I was just unhappy because I kept looking for things outside. I thought a bigger house would make me happy, or I don't know, or a newer car. I don't know. You put things in your mind that you think that you need. And what I found out is first it has to happen that you are happy, and then you become like a magnet. Or suddenly you are lucky. Things come to you, happens to you.
Yes, and everything is the law of attraction and magnets and energy and attracting. And so if anybody's watching this who needs that more incentive of why to do all these things, it's because once you do feel happy on the inside and you free yourself, then more things start happening to validate this new elevated vibration.
Exactly, because it depends. Yes, if you are into the fear, the victimhood, you are vibrating very low. And how could things could change in your life? So there is a little bit of effort that we have to put on our part, to elevate our frequency, our vibration. And it's working with our thoughts. Yes, the ones that said, oh, this is the end of the world, things are getting worse, or things like that. No, you're creating your own reality moment by moment based on that.
Yeah, and there's this fear mode and this fear energy that is happening in the world right now, as we know. And so then it's about, okay, well, you can get empowered. How can you stay in your own peace, regardless of what's happening outside? And you can.
You can, definitely, because this is about being at peace no matter what is going on around you. Yeah. And then you have to know in your heart that you are protected and you are guided if you allow it. Now, if you are engaging with the fear, buying into the fear or something like that, no help. Yes, you're on your own. That's why, I always talk about living a more conscious life. Who am I? Yes, and realizing we are not this limited being that we see in the mirror. That we are much more than that.
Yeah, I mean, the abundance out there that is just waiting for us to open our hearts, our minds, get out of our own way so that the abundance can even come in.
Exactly. And one of the things, Jamie, that I learned when I was changing careers, I actually had a Ho'oponopono teacher for over 10 years. And when I realized I was going to teach formally, I told him, I said, okay, I'm going to go and take classes. Yes, because I'm an accountant. I don't know anything about public speaking. And he said, no, that will take all your naturality. All you have to be is yourself. That is the most important message that I got in this lifetime. All I have to be is myself. See, so not depending on what other people think. Sure, there will be people that likes me and people who will not like me, and it's okay. The most important, see, that's the conclusion that I got when my mother used to tell me also, oh, look what people say about you, even before my public life, yes? Mm-hmm. And one day I realized, because she many times I heard that from her, but it didn't get here. So, but one day I realized, and I says, yeah, Mom, but it doesn't get here. I don't believe that. You understand what I mean? So it starts by believing in yourself. That's what if you say, how could you make such a big jump, yes, of 180 degrees change in your life is because I stopped listening to what other people thought of me, and I realized that what I thought of me, about me, it was important, not what other people thought. Because if I'm not happy, you understand? So you have to believe. I started practicing letting go and trusting every time that I had a negative thought about myself, or that thing, I cannot do it, or I have bad luck, or whatever, yes? And staying present. And I started seeing the results, and I like what I saw, and I like the way my life started going. And I had to also make a lot of decisions, many times illogical decisions, because I started trusting and I started doing things based on what my heart told me or how it felt instead of what it was right or what other people would think or say about me.
Oh, that is freedom right there.
Yeah.
Being in our integrity is such a gift. I was writing for an article today, and the topic was about how millennials are having pregnancies out of wedlock. They wanted to know my opinion, little research, stuff like that. And then at the end it said, like, anything else you want to add? And I just said, you know what? Whatever is the decision, if someone is in their integrity and they are in touch with their intuition and they make whatever decision that is and it makes them happy, no one should judge. That's all that matters.
But we have to become happy people. We are very unhappy people. That's why we created the world we are in. Yes, for example, one of the programming was that we had to go and find a job. Yes, something that we hated. We didn't believe in ourselves. Somebody told us, "What, you want to be an artist? No, you need you need money to survive. You have to find a job." And we went for it. So again, it's about 100% responsibility. Yes, it's not what I was told, it was my decisions. Yes, what I bought. Yeah, and that will set you free, and it's never too late. I actually woke up, I would say, late. I would have loved to wake up earlier, to be able to have this information when I was young. But the universe is perfect, so.
Exactly. It happened at the right time. And also it's like, well, let's be grateful. Because I feel the same way. Like, I kind of started going on this journey, a spiritual journey, when I was 40, let's say.
Yeah, me too.
38, 39. Yeah, which is actually very common. I spoke to some spiritual teachers and they all kind of, it does happen around that time. There are some young
but
ones.
For you, looks like it was 2 years ago, yeah?
Well, I'm almost 44. I think it probably started at like 38, 39.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost 44.
I've been on this for more than 20 years.
Yes.
But at that time, it's funny that you said that, because at that time I was working for a CPA office and I was going through my divorce and all this spiritual awakening. Yes. So one of my bosses said, "Mabel, maybe it's midlife crisis you are going through." And I look at him and I said, if this is midlife crisis, I'm loving it. I'm happy for the first time in my life.
Yeah, because it is freedom. And it makes sense why it happens for most people, late 30s, early 40s. And for me, like, anytime I've been like, because I've been like you, where I'm like, oh, I wish if I would have known everything I know now when I was in my 20s or early 30s, life could have been so different, However, everything happens when it's supposed to happen. And I'm just grateful that I'm here now.
Yes.
I found it.
Yes, definitely. And right now, especially with everything that is happening, I mean, thank God for realizing we are spiritual beings. Otherwise, it would be really scary.
Mm-hmm. And life is short, life is long, meaning that we do have the rest of our lives to enjoy this type of life.
I mean, it's too late if you are in your bed. Death, and waiting just to die, and then you wake up, last minute. That would be late. That would be late. But because you will. If you don't wake up before, you will wake up when you're about to die, yes? But otherwise, it's never too late. Never too late.
I'm just thinking about in one of my, have you heard of USM, University of Santa Monica, spiritual psychology?
I took some insight. Do you know insight?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like you're very much like you could have been a fellow student of mine.
Well, I wasn't a student there. No, I never went to the university, but I used to be in the building because inside was I had some radio and TV shows for the Latino community here in LA. I'm talking about the year 2003, 2004, 5, yes? And or even 2008. That was my no, they were before. So I'm talking about 2005, and because they they proposed they wanted to go to kind of get into the Hispanic market, and so they said, well, we know Mabel, and that would be, but Mabel will not kind of market anything that she didn't experience. One, we don't invite her. And I love it. I took Inside One and Inside Two, and it's something that it really helped me at that time.
I love it. Love it so much. And just when we were talking about that it's never too late, I was thinking about some classmates. Like in my class of 200, there were 20-something-year-olds and then 80s. So
Yes,
I thought about this lady who's
wonderful.
80 and just tapping into passion.
Even if we go to university, and I'm not talking about the spiritual, let's say that now at my age, I decide that I want to become whatever, yes?
Yeah.
What a different experience would be, because when you are young, you put so much pressure on yourself, like your life depends on that, yes? What about going, first of all, being around young people, it will make you feel much younger, yes? And also you will be able to see it in a completely different way. You will take it with a different responsibility. I mean, one of the things that I tell young people, because I love to work with young people, I love to work with kids. I have 2 children's books.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I tell them, because sometimes they said, Mabel, I'm finishing my high school, but I don't know what I want to study. And I say, who said that right after high school you have to get into the university? Crazy. How could you know at that age who you are and what you want to do for the rest of your life? I said, that was before the pandemic, okay? But I used to tell them, go and travel the world. And when you come back, you will know. Go and experience, have fun, and things. So it is ridiculous to push, or the same thing that with pushing, or the same with pushing the kids to have straight A's. How ridiculous that is. You cannot be perfect. You're not perfect, and you're not going to be good at everything. Yes.
Right.
Now, if you feel good with yourself, you will be able to do well on everything. Yes, because you feel good with yourself. Instead of putting so much pressure on the teenagers at that age with that stress, of having a straight A's. It's the most ridiculous things. But anyway, we all went through it, yes, and a lot of kids are going through it right now.
Yeah, I mean, like stress is just not good on the body, mind, soul. It's just not good any year of your life ever.
I always tell parents, I said, you just have to be a happy parent. That's it.
Yes.
That's the best gift you can give to your kids. You don't have to be a perfect parent either.
No.
And be vulnerable, and learn from them. They have a lot to teach to us. Because of a 5-year-old, I'm sure you found out that already.
Oh my God. I take it one day at a time. Like my husband and I were doing the best we can. Noah, my son, he's doing the best he can. He's like, I'm just going to be 5. And
just have fun. Just have fun. Enjoy. Yes.
Okay. So I want to make sure that we talk about your zero frequency teachings and all about your new book, Zero Frequency, The Easiest Way to Peace, Happiness, and Abundance.
Okay, so I have to tell you, so I teach Ho'oponopono, yes, but Ho'oponopono is esoteric, it's very spiritual, it's kind of theoretical, yes, so now I tell you and you go and practice, okay? So I've been doing training, zero frequency trainings that I created for over 10 years, yes? And because I wanted to give experiences to people, because, for example, Ho'oponopono is a lot of information for your subconscious mind. Really, your subconscious mind is the part of you that needs to listen to that, yes? because it's the part of you that will help you to do the transmutation, the erasing, whatever. But the part of you that has the free choice is your intellect. That's the part of you that is choosing all the time. So I wanted to create something kind of more practical with exercises, with processes, individual, one-on-one, groups, And also for me, because I stumble with my passion, I know how important it is to become happy, to do what you love. So for me, that's the foundation, of any successful business, that you do it because you love it. Yes. So I love to help people to connect with that, because for me, a perfect world would be one that we all do what we love. Yes. That we would do even if we don't get paid because we love it. So that's what zero frequency allows me to do. And I've been trying to write this book for 10 years. And now that it's been published, I can tell you that now I know why it took me 10 years. Because this is a book for right now. It wasn't for 10 years ago. This is a book for everything that is happening right now and what we need to practice in order to be at peace and be happy no matter what is going on around us. And how you create your own reality. But you have plenty of different ways to do it. Yes, and find that center. Right now, it's very important that we stay in that center, like the eye of the hurricane. Yeah, don't get into curious to see what's happening. Just stay in your center, and there is nothing you need to worry about.
Stay in your peace. Stay in your lane. Focus on yourself. There can be craziness going on, but as long as you have that inner peace, life is beautiful.
Because that's what the universe is asking: is that we go inside. This is the time to go inside. This is the time to connect with ourselves, to reconnect with ourselves, to realize where our power is and how we are creating our own reality. So it could be in the middle of something like this and you're having a good time.
Yes. I love that. Ideally, we should always just be having a party on the inside, because then there'll be a party on the outside.
Well, because like we said in the beginning, it depends on that, of the reality that you create. So you can live a parallel life, or like you said, well said, yeah, same situation, two people, two different complete reactions, yeah, or perceptions or whatever. And based on your decisions, yes, the consequences or what you attract in your life.
Yeah. That's why we need to just be raising our vibration as much as possible within, so that our outside reflects that.
Exactly. And so every time, basically, zero frequency is not something that I'm telling you, oh, you know what, you do this and you don't have any more problems in your life. You are going to always be at peace. No, this is how to live a conscious life, so that every time that you are not at zero, you can recognize it and you have the tools how to go back to zero. Yeah, that's the most important, is realizing every time that you are going to the past, you are going to the future, you are engaging, and those things that take you off zero, and plenty of ways of going back to zero. And if you are centered, I mean, again, really, you are protected, you are guided, nothing you need to worry about.
It's so beautiful. And I know so many people are going to be inspired and their lives are going to change from this book, just as everything you've done in the past has already changed so many lives.
Thank you.
Okay, two more things I want to talk about. Let's talk about how you got this award for being a peace ambassador. What was that like?
Well, I'll tell you, my World Peace campaign is Peace Begins With Me. That means with each one of us, yes. And Peace Within is World Peace. So I got a tool in Israel many, many years ago, that by inspiration, that is the Fleur de Lis. And at that time, I was still working with my teacher, so he meditated about it. And really, it is about bringing peace and cutting cords and transmuting memories of slavery and bloodshed and all that stuff. So that is an important tool that right now I'm realizing every day. I'm hearing other people that talk about it and how important it is for the times that we are living. But that kind of developed without me even, kind of planning it, into this World Peace campaign. So I became a dame. Yes, I was recognized because of this, but I actually don't use it because I feel it's too much. The most important is, to be honest with you, I feel my mission is to bring peace, to Earth, especially Middle East, or these places. But whenever it's right and perfect, I'm working like one person at a time. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and I always said this is not an individual mission. You understand what I mean? Because this is about getting together with other leaders in the world, yes, and showing. One of my dreams was to get people from different cultures, different techniques, different methodologies, and religions and everything to show the world that we are all talking about the same thing, calling it maybe different names, yes? So that is the most important, that we realize that we are all family and that we all have the same challenges. I think the pandemic had that gift for us, yes, to show us that we are all one, that we are all on all of this together.
I just wrote kind of like a New Year's article, 2020s in the past, everything. And I said that there's no body, no religion, no gender, no anything, no culture that was not touched. Doesn't matter how much money you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter. We've all been affected.
So I think we have to become more vulnerable and more humble, yes, and realize we are in all of this together, and every decision also that we make affects the whole world.
It does.
So, and we can all make a difference. That's why we are here.
We can. We all have meaning and purpose. We're all special.
Yeah, and you affect your family, you affect your community, don't feel that you are little because, you are home. Hey, you are, maybe you are making a difference in your life, in your community, in your family group.
Yeah. It's very empowering.
Yeah.
Okay. So you talked about your radio show and you it was called Despertar, which
that is to awakening. Yes.
Yeah. So do you want to talk a little bit about like what that was like to have the radio show, what that experience was like, why you decided to call it that?
Yeah, well, one day they invited me to a radio show, and then people got interested. They wanted to know more. Now I'm talking about 2000, the year 2000, something like that. Yeah, so can you imagine 20 years ago? So and people would start asking me, Mabel, where can we find this that you are talking about? And at that time there was nothing, not even in English, written about Ho'oponopono. And that's when I started writing my first book. And then I started, the person that invited me to the show, she let go of the show. So I took over the show. And then we were in the Latino community, we were the first one to do radio TV. Yeah, we would bring the cameras to the radio station, and then, we would do we would edit it and put it on the TV channels, and then then they started inviting me to TV shows, and then I ended up having my own TV show, and to be honest with you, it was my own, and I used to have at 6 in the morning on TV. It was at 6 in the morning, and I used to have over 200 calls with that show. That's how people were looking for peace and hope and all this time, all the things. But I also was ahead of my time. Now I meet some of my interviewers, and they said, Mabel, when you used to come to the show, I didn't understand anything of what you were talking about.
But now everybody does.
I think a lot of people are awakening. Thank God. Still a lot of people asleep, but I think a lot of people will wake up soon too.
And we say, bless their souls. That's their journey.
Yes. No. This is not about convincing anybody,
right.
Anybody. You have to know that if you do the work, you're gonna be helping, and maybe you're helping people that you will never meet. Yes, but you're making a difference. Yeah. You just have to do your work.
I love it. Well, you are extraordinary. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that. You really are. Thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you.
I would love you to plug your website, your any social media that you're on, so people know where to find you and your books.
Sure. Okay. Well, they can go to zerofrequency.com if they want to know more about specifically this book. I do have mabelkatz.com page too. And in social media, I am in Mabel Katz fan page is in Facebook, and the rest is just Mabel Katz. You find me under my name. So I'm sure if you go Google me, you will find me. But go to Zero Frequency. Actually, when you buy the book, you have access also to some videos where I kind of take you through. Sometimes we need a little push, that we need to start and changing habits and things like that, so we can start attracting different things in our life.
Well, thank you so much. And one of the best things about you is that you're so genuine. You've walked the walk. So
I am authentic. Like I said, some people might like me, some people don't. I always said some people love my accent, some other people hate it. But this is me. What can I say?
Well, Oprah says that in life, if everybody liked you, you wouldn't be being yourself. So it just means that you're just being yourself, and that's the best way.
Yes, actually, that's a good one, because that's what I used to do. Yes, and that's why I was not happy. I was pleasing people. Yes, and not
You're the
being like that.
chameleon.
That's true. That's true. Thank you. Thank you for that one.
You're welcome, and thank you, Oprah, wherever you are.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And viewers, you can always find me at therelationshipexpert.com. Everybody, thanks for joining us today. It's Mabel.
Mabel. Yes.
I was calling Mabel. It's Mabel.
Okay. I respond to both, but it's Mabel.
Mabel, thank you so much for doing the show today. I know it was so inspiring. And everybody join us every week on Love Talk Live on LA Talk Radio. Thanks, and have a wonderful night, you and everyone.
Bye.
You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jamie Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.